Hello guys, welcome back to Mangaholic Anonymous. This is your host Sendo. This is a safe space, no judgment allowed for us mangaholics. Today I'm gonna go over what I read this past week. And the reason I say just this past week is because I went to the library and I got to turn this books back in soon. It's nice going to the library. You'll be surprised. They got new volumes. They also got like old school stuff. It's pretty nice. You don't gotta spend money on it. You just get them, read them, turn them back in. You should try it out, guys. Especially if you go over your budget and you want to read more. This is a great way to read manga. And for some reason, I'm struggling to read online. I don't know. There's a nice feel about reading the physical copy over reading it on your computer or your iPad. I don't know. I mean, I still like doing it. It's just a very different feel. But anyway, why don't we go over the stuff that I read. First, we're gonna go over this book right here called Lovesickness by Junji Ito. And the reason I picked it up is because I want to see what are the scary stories in Japan. What are people scared of? You know, back where I come from, you got La Llorona, El Chupacabras, and I want to see what are Japanese people scared of. The main story is about a town that's very foggy, and people believe that if you go to the town and you come across somebody you don't know and ask them for your fortune, whatever that person says is going to come true. So people start doing that, and some people start seeing results like that, so it gets more popular, more kids are doing it, and out of nowhere this demon or ghost starts walking around in that foggy town giving bad fortune, and whatever he says happens to the people, and people start getting killed or they commit suicide because of that. It was pretty interesting. I'm not a big fan of horror, but it was just interesting to see what people think of horror in Japan. And as you can see, look at the art. If you like the scary stuff, I'm pretty sure you're gonna be very satisfied with the art itself. But again, probably every time I go to the library, if I see some Junji Ito work, I'll probably pick it up just to read it, you know. A series that I also really enjoyed was actually, where's the other volume? I know I have another volume here. The Way of the Husband. The Way of the House Husband. And this, I don't think there's an overarching story. I think it's just a bunch of small short stories about this character and his family, but it's a comedy. What makes it funny is that this guy used to be a very famous or infamous Yakuza, and out of nowhere he just stops being one and becomes a house husband, and he loves his family, all that stuff. But whatever he tries to do looks very fearful, very scary. Whenever he grabs a knife to cut some lettuce, you think he's gonna kill someone, but he just does normal house husband work, and that's what makes it funny. There's also an anime in Netflix, and I heard that it received some backlash. And when I watched it, I can kind of understand why. The anime just felt like the manga just colored. There was hardly any animation. It was just some sort of PowerPoint. So I would recommend reading the manga if you have an option, but the anime wasn't that bad. It was just not what you would expect of an anime. This was my favorite of everything that I read. Hell's Paradise. So think a bunch of killers put in an island, and they're told, if you find this elixir of life and bring it back to us being the government, back in the Edo period in Japan, you know, when they used, you know, where Kenshin was killing people back in those days. If you find the elixir of life and bring it back to us, we'll forgive all of your crimes. So what do the killers do? Well, they start killing each other, but they also encounter monsters in the island. The island seems to be mystical. The monsters look like they came out of Gantz in a way. So it's pretty interesting because there's the mystery of what's going on in this island. And there's these monsters, and you start thinking, perhaps the elixir of life does exist, and some killers are kind of teaming up to survive and to find that elixir of life. So that's pretty interesting. There's no time wasted here. It's very fast paced. The main character, he's very likable. He just wants to survive so he can go back to his wife because he loves her. That was pretty cool. And as far as the artwork, I like it. No complaints here. Whoop. Look at the monsters. If you haven't checked out this series, definitely do. I think there's only 11 volumes. I really want to catch up to them. There's a little bit too much violence or nudity sometimes. That's why I don't buy the volumes. But definitely going to continue reading it if I find it at the library. Now, the next series that I read was The Promised Neverland. Nah, I'm joking. It's called Witch Hat something Atelier. And this is the baby of The Promised Neverland and Harry Potter. So it's about magic, this girl becoming a wizard and learning how to be a magician, how to do magic tricks. They all live in a house under their instructor, which is a magician, and you get all that learning stuff. Then for some reason she was chosen by some dark magicians and they're looking for her, and so you get that mystery of wanting to know what's going on with this girl, what's so special about her, why are they looking for her. But man, the art, look at those covers. The art's pretty good. Look at that. Pretty good, pretty cute art. Kind of started slow at first for me, but I think it's just every series to me starts slow. It gets a bit hard for me to get into them, but afterwards I was like, yeah, I like this series. Definitely want to read more of it. So make sure you check it out, guys. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Next thing I read was Sunny, Volume 1. So the story revolves about this group of kids living in a home provided by the government for kids that either don't have parents or their parents have problems like addictions, so they themselves are not able to take care of their own kids, so they go to this home where they're taken care of. And it's just about the lives of the kids, how they're dealing with their parents, how they're dealing with not being able to see them, how society looks at them, and a bunch of stuff like that. Which the way that he tells his stories is pretty interesting. And you start realizing what's going on in very subtle ways, how the characters are reacting to certain things, and you start picking up, oh, so this is what's going on. It's not very straightforward, but you kind of pick it up as you're seeing the reactions. The art is something that you just gotta be aware. It's very different. I'm not gonna say that it's bad. It's just very different, I haven't read Ping Pong, but I kind of had an idea what his art is like. Also kind of gave me not the art, but just the storytelling kind of gave me a vibe of Inio Asano in a way. So if you like his work, you might also like this guy's work. It was pretty interesting. I will pick up the second volume if I see it at the library. Fest of the North Star. Think Mad Max made into a manga. That's pretty much it. You get a world that post World War III, where everything is just desert. Food and water is very scarce, and gangs just rule the small towns or cities, and they're being savages, killing people like nothing. Women are being taken advantage of. And out of nowhere, you get this guy just walking by, which has the power of the North Star, I guess. If he punches you, whatever part of your body he punches, your body's just gonna explode. If he kicks your leg is gonna explode in like 5 or 10 seconds. And this is where you get that meme of you're already dead. I found it very interesting. I found it that the author doesn't waste any time. The story moves really, not really fast, but at a very good pace. Because I'm not a very big fan of just people getting killed just for the sake of that. Which that's why I wasn't very big on this series. But once I started reading it, I was like, okay, it's pretty interesting. This is a bad guy. He has the power of the South Star, and I guess he can kill you from the outside in some way. I didn't understand his power, and that's the girl they love. Now I can understand the influence of JoJo's, especially part one, because you get the two guys that love the girl, and one's bad, one's good. Art's pretty great. Definitely want to read the second volume whenever it comes out. But I think, the great thing about the library is that this volume came out this month or last, and they already have it. So they don't have just a bunch of old stuff. They also have new stuff that I'm definitely gonna be checking out more. So anyways, this is all I read, guys. Let me know which of this series you're reading and what you think of them. Definitely Hell's Paradise was one of my favorite ones. Either way, thank you for watching, guys. Bye.